boxing fans. We've got a lightweight bout for you, and let's go up to Henry Tafoya now to get the introductions.
Presents 4 rounds of boxing. All right, we're ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome from Isabela, Puerto Rico, weighing in at an even 137 pounds. He comes in with a record of 0-1. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Luis Rivera. In the blue corner, he weighs in at 134.5 pounds. Dressed in green, white, and red. Record of 0-2. Here is Mike the Warrior Johnson. 4 rounds of boxing.
All right, boxing fans, welcome to tonight's 8-count boxing hour, and our opening bout will be lightweights. We've got a fighter from Puerto Rico, Luis Rivera. He's in the red, white, and blue Stars and Bars trunks. And he'll be taking on Albuquerque's own Mike the Warrior Johnson. Jerome Mike Johnson trains down at the South San Jose Community Center. Both fighters looking for their first win as professionals. You're going to see that they're both outstanding boxers. They're very good, and actually pretty hard to believe that both of these guys have not got a win yet. But early in their careers, Rivera's 0-1, and Mike Johnson comes in at an announced record of 0-2. Referee Al Martinez just about ready to get us going here. And there is the bell, round 1 underway. Thanks for joining us again tonight here on the 8-count boxing hour. We've got a good show lined up for you. Oh, there's Rivera launching a big left hand, and now Mike Johnson answering back, and Rivera stumbled down. His gloves touch the canvas now. Martinez will wipe them off. It's not a knockdown, but he just kind of stumbled off balance. Luis Rivera in the Stars and Bars from Puerto Rico. Living now in Albuquerque, living and training here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Taking on Jerome Mike Johnson. And Johnson, you'll see, is a good, sturdy, strong boxer with good technique. And this is going to be a good one. These guys are evenly matched. And there you see Rivera trying to score with that left hand, and Johnson moving forward. Johnson's a patient fighter who will try to walk you down. Neither of these guys would be called one-punch knockout artists, but they both have good power. Oh, and there's a good left hand landed by Rivera. Luis Rivera from Puerto Rico, and a rich boxing history of the island of Puerto Rico. And we're glad to have him here in Albuquerque. This is a guy who 0-1, looking to get his first win here and get things going. Training down at the American Kempo Karate Academy in Albuquerque right now. And there you see him now launching against Johnson. Johnson more of a patient counterpuncher. I have not seen Rivera in action. I've seen him train, but I have not seen him in action. But I have seen Jerome Mike Johnson spar and fight. And you'll see he's a patient counterpuncher. He's very strong. He's got a sturdy chin. And he's really going to test Luis Rivera here tonight. We're in the first round, scheduled for 4, so sit back and enjoy the boxing action. Glad to have you here on Community Cable Channel 27 in Albuquerque. And again, you see Rivera, he's throwing that left hand. Johnson's gonna have to watch out, and Johnson lands a left of his own, and that kind of stunned Rivera. You could see Rivera just kind of freeze when he got caught with that big left hand from Johnson. And now Rivera kind of stumbling back. I think he was really rocked by that left hand. Both boxers very patient. Neither guy is just going to go wild and get caught with something crazy. We're almost at the end of round 1. And that ends round one. A good opening round. Both guys landing pretty much with that left hand. Rivera landed it a few times. Didn't seem to have an effect on Johnson, but boy, when Johnson landed one, it rocked Rivera's world. So that was a tough round to score, and I think that's how this fight is probably going to go throughout. Probably have set up the way things are going to look, unless one of these guys can land a bomb and change things. We look into the corner now of Jerome Mike Johnson from Albuquerque. That's Roy Griego working his corner. Roy Griego training Mike down at the South San Jose Community Center. Roy Jr. also working as a second there. They have high hopes for Mike Johnson. Roy has told me some good things about him, and he really expects him, if he can just get the win here tonight, to really get on a roll. And we'll see how he can do against Luis Rivera, who I was talking with Bill Packer down there at AKKA, and he was pretty fond of Luis Rivera's chances. So both of these guys are looked at as good prospects by their trainers. We'll see how they go. Round two underway. Dan Cisneros at ringside, and thanks again for joining us in Albuquerque and our sister stations around the country. Tonight, our special shout out to the station in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Thanks for carrying us there on public access television. So Luis Rivera, and now you see Johnson slip in that right hand. Luis Rivera and Mike Johnson going at it here, lightweights. They're a little bit over the lightweight limit of 135, but they're under the contract weight, so it's going in and down as a lightweight bout here in Albuquerque. Lenny Fresquez, the promoter, Albuquerque's #1 promoter, bringing the boxing action to the Duke City, and we're so glad for it. Lots of professional boxing going on here. Special thanks to Lenny Fresquez for inviting us down to bring you the action. And now both guys launch right hands and just come up short. Rivera gets a warning for a low blow. I think it was unintentional, but he gets the warning from El Martinez. Martinez, one of the seasoned referees in Albuquerque. And now you see Johnson again trying to get in there and score. He kind of grazed Rivera with a shot, and Rivera just kind of moving out of the way. Similar styles, both fighters, both right-handers, and both are patient counter-punchers. Rivera launching the right hand, but just missing. Nice crowd here at the Lujan Pavilion, settling in for the big main event. Heavyweight Alex Garcia will be taking on George Stevens in the semi-main. And then the main event, of course, Albuquerque's pit bull, Daniel Perez, will be taking on Jose Cantaneo in the rematch. So again, Rivera launching but missing. Neither guy has been hurt, although I would say Rivera certainly got buzzed in that first round. But so far, no one down, no one hurt seriously. There you see Rivera launching, finishing with that left hand. Oh, in the left hand, but that was kind of blocked on the glove by Johnson right at the bell. And now we look into the corner of Luis Rivera.
Ladies and gentlemen, December the 13th, right here at Tingley Coliseum, Albuquerque will host the WBC World Championship bout featuring WBC champion Miguel Angel Gonzalez. December 13th, WBC World Championship bout.
right, so round 3 underway. We're halfway through this one. Mike Johnson, the Warrior, in the red, white, and green trunks, and Luis Rivera from Puerto Rico in the red, white, and blue trunks. An even match to this point, pretty close. Oh, and there Rivera, he launched a right hand and he got caught with a counter right. Very similar styles in these two fighters. Again, you see Jerome Johnson just patiently walking forward, trying to walk down his opponent, not really stepping in, but patiently walking him. And Rivera just setting up and looking for that big counter shot. It's been the same pattern throughout the fight. Both fighters hungry for that first win. And now a low blow from Rivera. That's the second warning. And they're taking a point. Al Martinez takes a point away. He's been warned at least once that I saw. It could have been twice. And so Luis Rivera loses a point for a low blow. That is going to really affect the scoring here. So now he's got his hands full. He needs to get busy, try to make up for that. Oh, and there you see Rivera now, and he lands a left hand. And Johnson just crowds him. Again, he gets the warning for the low blow. And there you see Rivera. Now he goes to the body and tries to come back with an uppercut. Just grazing, just missing Johnson. Jerome Johnson, who is moving forward. Rivera in a slow semi-retreat, but he's trying to catch Johnson on the way in. Jerome Mike Johnson just needs to let his hands go a little more. I think that's all he's missing. He has everything down except he just doesn't seem to be willing to let his hands go freely. There you see him shooting out the jab, but he needs to step in and get busier. Meanwhile, Rivera continues looking for that counter punch. And that ends round 3. 1 to go. The bell sounds for round 4, fourth and final round. Mike the Warrior Johnson and Luis Rivera. Oh, and Rivera shoots a big left hand, and Johnson, I think, just got out of the way of that one. That could have been bad. Both guys have been effective with throwing that left hook, that left hand. And I think they are both very aware that they need to get busy here in this fourth and final round. This is a close one. This round the fight could hang in the balance here. And of course, Rivera being deducted a point for low blows. And that is really going to possibly hurt him in the scoring. again, the pattern of Johnson moving forward, Rivera stepping back, looking to counter. He's been catching, there's a right hand from Rivera. Rivera has been catching Johnson every now and then with the little counter timing shots, but not following up and not following up and getting in there and really trying to hurt his opponent. Here you see Johnson coming up short with a little right hand, and he steps in with a jab now. Both fighters looking for that first, that elusive and very valuable first professional win here. Again, you see Johnson step in with a jab, and now Rivera looking for the counter shots, but missing. Luis Rivera from Isabela, Puerto Rico, moving to Albuquerque and training here, is kind of settling in, seeing if he likes it. And Jerome Mike Johnson is the Albuquerque local. Time winding down now. These guys need to, oh, and there's a big left hand from Johnson. And he rocked Rivera with that one. So Rivera may be a little bit busier, but Johnson's punches are landing with much more impact. And that ends the fight. So this one goes the distance, all 4 rounds, and it will be in the hands of the 3 judges at ringside to come up with a winner in this one. It's not a slugfest, but when Mike Johnson landed, they seem to have a lot of impact. And Rivera may have landed a few more punches. We don't have any kind of fight stats to look at, but then that point deduction against Rivera could also really make a difference here. So we're going to see what the judges can come up with in this one.
What's successful?
Breaking even in boxing.
Oh, really? How many people?
I didn't hear. He didn't say.
Max paying everyone now?
Yeah.
Oh, God, ever get a hold of him?
Oh, it was minimum.
Boxing coming to you from the Lujan Pavilion here in
I
Albuquerque.
just turned it off. Nothing's awful.
And I think Henry Tafoya has the decision. Let's go to him.
Ladies and gentlemen, Judge William Gant scores it 36-40. Albert Gutierrez scores it 39-38. Judge Hugh Bishop scores it 36-39. The winner by split decision, Albuquerque's Michael Johnson.